glad that you have joined me this week, and that I hope that you had a great Mother's Day yesterday and that you were able to rejoice in the design that God has for the family and the most important part that moms play and the critical nurturing of their children. We rejoice in God's design and we honor moms. Well, I hope that this week is a great week here in Michigan. It's supposed to be absolutely beautiful, and we'll take it and rejoice in it and enjoy it. But we're in Psalm 37, a very familiar passage, maybe one of the more familiar Psalms of all of the 150 Psalms. But it says, Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. In other words, don't find yourself um, being jealous when sinful, evil people get ahead in this life, succeed, if you want to use that word, succeed in this life. When they seem to have everything going their way, they're making buku bucks and they're living the American dream, and they have a life of luxury and comfort, and it just seems like whatever their hand touches turns to gold, and they just give you this impression that they're just so happy and so free, and all of these false narratives. But how many times have we heard of very successful, very financially secure individuals who commit suicide, or struggle with depression, or all of these things? And the reason is money cannot bring happiness or peace or joy or fulfillment. It's just a tool, and the quicker we understand that, the better. Popularity is a bad trap when we worship it, or we want to be popular, or we want a position of prestige. These are false narratives that the flesh and the world feed us as a way to fulfillment. Those things never do. They come with great responsibility, but they also come with great pressure. Some of the happiest, most fulfilled people in the world are the people who live probably the most simple of lives. And so we embrace responsibilities as God gives them when He has called us to them. But then we know that God is going to work in and through us for His glory, anything that He wants to do. So we don't have to have the pressure for the result. We just have to be faithful through the process of stewardship. And so Psalm 37 is saying, get your eyes in the right place. Get your eyes off of the evil man that prospers. Get your eyes off of the workers of iniquity that seem to have life by the tail, and everything seems to be working the way that they want. And get your eyes back on the Lord. So he says, verse 2, for these workers of iniquity, these evildoers, they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. In other words, they have a day coming when it's called eternity, when it will never be what it has been, and it will be torturous and lonely and insecure and all of the things that they've never thought, and it'll never change. And so God says, pity them. Don't envy them. Feel sorry for them. Don't want to be like them. Is that they're living a life of selfishness, and even though it may seem like it's succeeding, there is a very dangerous path that when their day of reckoning comes and death faces them, they will be empty, and they will suffer the consequences and be cut down like grass. So then he says, but rather, here's where I want your focus. Trust in the Lord and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. In other words, just trust the Lord for what He has for you. The picture of the promised land is a picture of doing the will of God. Oh, it's not always easy, and it's not always popular, and there's some bumps in the road, but there's fulfillment, there's peace and joy in knowing I'm simply doing what God has called me to do. And so there's the principle: trust in the Lord, let Him feed you, let Him fulfill you in the will of God. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. In other words, let God be the focus, let God be the priority, let God be your authority. You delight in the things of God, and literally let God's desires be your desires. Let God's desires for you and for mankind and the program and plan that He has created and designed, embrace that and let His desires motivate you and become your desires. And what a beautiful picture that is as we commit our way unto the Lord. Trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. And He shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. In other words, you don't have to get even. You don't have to prove a point. You don't have to expose someone's sin. It's not about you. It never will be. What you need to do is trust in the Lord, delight in Him, commit your way unto Him, and then rest. Cease from anger, cease from wrath, and just enjoy the presence of God, the will of God, the power of God, and the fulfillment that comes from obedience to God. We can rest in the Lord. I hope you'll do that, not just today, but every day as you think of Psalm 37 and allow it to become not just a new source of data or a mind exercise, but let it sink into the very core of your being, your very soul, and let it become a principle for life. May God bless you. I'll see you again tomorrow.